So, we continue the discussion on theories of mass transfer, and if you see the logic flow, we first consider the steady state model, film model, and that followed from the consideration of a problem of diffusion through a solid polymeric membrane. So, that gave us KL average proportional to DAB, which is outside most of the experimental findings. So, we gave up the steady state picture, the film theory, and chose unsteady state model, and the first one in this was the penetration theory. The penetration model presumes a short time of contact. It presumes eddies or liquid elements residing at the interface in contact with the gas or another liquid for the same length of time, identical length of time, which means basically the assumption is a uniform age distribution, a constant lifetime for all elements. The element of liquid is presumed to be infinite in extent, although in reality it will be finite only in comparative sense that depth of penetration is short corresponding to small time, and that is of the order of square root of dAB theta. So, a small extent of liquid element will behave like infinite element. So, short time and infinite depth, those are the basic features, and that short time is also constant lifetime for all elements. And it was here that I had asked you to do that visualization little ahead of time. If we were to choose color code to indicate different lifetimes, in penetration model you would have a black and white picture, which means basically looking at the interface or surface of liquid from top through the gas phase, you would see at any point of time all elements to be there. So, if we indicate that as a black color, you will have entire surface black, the elements are there, and then you continue looking at it over time. Very short time later, you would see that the entire surface has now switched to white. All the elements have simultaneously got submerged into bulk of liquid. They all get replaced, and with that flicker of white appearance, you have now the next generation of elements coming there. So, it turns black again and you see it black until the cycle repeats itself. So, this is the picture. You would see presence of elements, all of them together, vanishing of all of them in one moment, replaced by other elements. So, that is the idea of the penetration theory. And continuing with the unsteady state, the short time of contact or lifetime of elements, we still would feel that this is somewhat a limiting assumption. It can't be a reality. In reality, there is no reason why all elements should stay at the interface for the same length of time. Some might come, it might be touch and go situation, they touch the interface and immediately go into the bulk. Others might stay for a long time, and some elements might stay there forever. So, you will have entire distribution of lifetimes of elements, and if you were to kind of lump those lifetimes into those 7 categories, you would see this mosaic of 7 colors all the time, and it would be dynamically changing. So, where we have blue, we might have yellow appearing and so on. In order to build this picture into an analytical description, we may slowly go through the distribution aspect. So, I had told you that maybe instead of seeing this scattered differently colored elements, you can visualize that you map them into 7 classes. So, you will have band of one color, another, etc. That is only for visualization. It tells you that now there are 7 classes corresponding to 7 colors and different lifetimes, okay, and they will get replenished. One could have done that by choosing a basis, let us say a unit area, okay. So, the description gets slightly easier. Within this unit area, we have these elements of different lifetimes, and for each category, each class or each period of lifetime, we would have the unsteady state description identical as we have in penetration theory. So, you see the link. Penetration theory eases up the development of the surface renewal theory, the next theory, where we consider the age distribution. Danckwerts, P. V. Danckwerts first proposed it, and this theory or model is known as surface renewal theory, where the elements are permitted to have different lifetimes. Only for convenience, I am classifying into 7 classes, so that the description becomes slightly easier. So, if you take now the average absorption rate, you would have contributions from all these 7 classes or 7 lifetimes. So, if you take a unit area, a fraction of that unit area will contribute to the smallest lifetime, another fraction to slightly larger lifetimes, and so on. If you were to consider all fractions together, entire distribution of lifetimes, then the fraction of areas will add up to 1. We have started with unit area. You get that? So, unit area is now composed of these different aged elements. Within each age, the absorption will happen according to penetration model. Root dA by pi theta will be the mass transfer coefficient, multiplied by Ci minus Cs 0, you will get the flux. If you want the total absorption rate in the unit area, what should you do? Obviously, you should take the absorption rate, instantaneous or average absorption rate, multiplied by the fraction of the area. Do it for all the 7 elements, 7 lifetimes or whatever we choose, and then add them up, right. That is basically taking contribution from each age category, okay. Once we think and agree of adding up, then it gets easier. If we were to split it into larger number of classes until the differences in lifetimes become infinitesimal, the summation will be replaced by integration. You get that? It is here that you have to have one more connect, and that is with the kinetic theory of gases. When you think of the molecular velocities, you think of their distributions, and in probability theory you have distribution functions. You have to have this idea, the distribution function will have to be first defined in some way, okay. Now, not to omit anything basic, suppose you had a probability distribution and we have a phenomenon or event taking up a particular value. Presume that on y axis you are plotting p x, on x axis we have x. When a phenomenon or event takes place, x is given certain value and you will have corresponding point on the probability distribution curve. Now, if I ask you specifically this question, what is the probability that an event will happen such that x is equal to x 1, a specific value? This question is important to clearly understand, because it gives you a little bit of geometrical feel and quite a bit of understanding. You got the point? Probability distribution curve, we are thinking of what is the probability corresponding to x taking up value x 1, a specific value. Rethink, second attempt. P x is distribution, probability distribution function. P x will be, P x 1 will be 0. So, That is the correct answer. You have to look at the area under the curve. Under a point there is no area. Okay. You can only say probability that x takes up a value between, let us say, x1 plus dx or delta x. Okay. There you take that area of the strip between x1 plus x and x1 plus delta x. Okay. So, in case of the age distribution function, I have to clarify this physically for you in terms of understanding. If we ask a question, what is the fraction of the surface with an age between, say, theta and theta plus d theta or delta theta? That fraction you would obtain from whatever is the age distribution function, analogous to probability distribution function. That age distribution function times this delta theta will give you the fraction of elements occupying the surface with age between theta and theta plus delta theta. Okay. So, to distinguish it from the probability distribution function, let us say this age distribution function is f of theta, small f, argument theta, bracket theta. F theta is the distribution function. Then the fraction of area occupied by elements with age between theta and theta plus delta theta will be f theta delta theta. Okay. There is one implicit assumption I am making here, and that is that this f theta distribution function is normalized, which means if the fraction between theta and theta plus d theta is f theta d theta, and I add up over the whole distribution of ages from 0 to infinity, I should get 1. Integral f theta d theta, limits theta being taken from 0 to infinity, this integral will be equal to 1. So, we are taking normalized distribution. This is a normalized distribution. Okay. So, what I should do is I should take the instantaneous flux n a theta, which yesterday we saw is root dA by pi theta into C a I minus C a 0. This is the instantaneous flux of A or absorption per area. I should multiply this by the fraction of the area with age between theta and theta plus d theta. So, I will take this n a theta multiply by f theta d theta, and then I should integrate from 0 to infinity. So, I should get average flux. Okay. That is only the broader picture of what we are going to do. As yet, unless we have looked at that part of treble, we do not know what f theta is, and even if you looked at treble, you would only know the expression. I would want you to understand how to get that stationary age distribution function f theta. Once we get that, we should be able to calculate the average flux and therefore average mass transfer coefficient. Now, is that all clear? Broader, I am just going across the terrain telling you these are the steps we will take, then we will fill up the details, so that we have a complete understanding and you will never forget it. Okay. Because too many things are coming together, and I do not want to give this impression that we are presuming anything directly. Okay. As far as possible, we should be able to derive from first principles. That is it. That is exactly what we are going to do. That is what I am telling you. That is exactly what I said. But to be able to do that integration, we need to know what that f theta d theta. So, we will not say as treble gives directly f theta expression or Danckwert's mitogram, we will derive that. For that, I need you to understand bit about distributions. Okay. So, let me run you through maybe 1 or 2 slides. So, Danckwerts says Higgs penetration theory is unrealistic. It is realistic to the extent that it is unsteady state picture, but unrealistic because it presumes a constant uniform lifetime for all elements. Instead, the surface will be a mosaic of elements of different ages. Okay. I have already explained this. This is clear to you. This mosaic of different colors you see corresponding to population of elements in those different age brackets. That is another part. We will come to that. We will come to that. Okay. Then this question will arise, how are the elements going to be replaced or renewed? So, one assumption that we could make is this, that the chance that element at the surface will be replaced by fresh liquid is independent of how long it has been at the surface. No, it is here that I will take a recourse to giving you an analogy with real life. It is imperfect, analogies are imperfect, but I think they drive home point very clearly. It would lead to this stationary age distribution of the elements, and we want to derive that. Okay. Now, let me use the board to explain the concepts. I do not have them in the slide. So, what is the analogy? On this line, we are going to indicate ages, okay. And our everyday life example to mimic what happens for the elements is, let us say, the entire population on earth. Now, think that we are looking at people specifically in that vicinity of 70 years, and let us say our basis is 1 year. In today's advanced world and the way we live, we are closer to what happens to the surface elements. The probability that any one of us will die is practically independent of our age. We never know. Same thing with the elements, they do not know when they will vanish, when they will be replaced. Okay. So, that assumption is easy to carry. Now, let us see what happens during 1 year. In 1 year, we expect the population which is in this age bracket 69 to 70 will go into the next interval 70 to 71. Okay. But we do not know, some of the people may not make it. So, we have exit. So, not all people who are there in the 69 to 70 will make it to 70 to 71 age bracket. Some will die. So, fewer people will land up into 70 to 71 compared to who were there in the 69 to 70 age bracket, right. If we are looking at this basis of 1 year, then we could say that the fraction of people here would be fraction of people here minus the fraction which is replaced, renewed, leaving. So, with this we can now make a balance. This balance, please remember, generally as chemical engineering students you are accustomed to making balances and think of the balances of mass, heat and momentum typically. Here for the first time perhaps you are coming across a balance which deals with number. So, keeping the same jargon, one could think of a particle number continuity equation, a balance which deals with numbers in connection with a distribution. Okay. So, if this concept is clear to you that people are aging, they also dying, we should be able to derive an expression for our age distribution function. If this is clear, I can move on to the derivation of the surface age distribution function or the stationary age distribution function. Is that clear? Okay. Let me go to those slides. So, first we will try to derive this f theta or the stationary age distribution function. The presumption is surface is being renewed randomly, the age does not matter. So, a probability that any element of surface would be destroyed and mixed with the bulk is regarded independent of the age. Okay. Now, I have already defined what f theta is. If f theta is a distribution function, it will have dimensions of time inverse. I want you to note that time inverse. If I multiply f theta by d theta, I will get the fraction of the surface with edge between theta and theta plus d theta. Just as in the probability curve, you had taken the area of that strip between say x 1 and x 1 plus dx. This is time inverse. So, this is dimensionless, fraction has to be dimensionless, correct. Okay. Now, it is here that I am bringing that picture. Area in the edge group between theta minus d theta to theta, this one, minus that replaced by fresh liquid in time d theta will be equal to the fraction in the edge range theta to theta plus d theta. Okay. Now, it is here for the surface renewal we need a parameter, we need some quantity which will describe the renewal. So, what we define is a surface renewal rate. More precisely, we will define a fractional surface renewal rate, which means the fraction of the surface which is renewed per time. Okay. That we define as S. S is the rate of production of fresh surface or rate of renewal of surface in the fraction per time terms. If I know that in unit time S is the fraction which is renewed, then in this time interval d theta, basis here is like 1 year here, basis is d theta. In d theta, what fraction will be renewed? I have to know that to get analogous quantity like this. If S is the fraction renewed per time, in time d theta, S times d theta will be the fraction removed. Okay. So, this now helps us set up the number balance, and let us see that. You are looking at the fraction between theta and theta plus d theta, that is f theta d theta. Is that clear everyone? Okay. This is equal to what is here now minus what will be renewed of or destroyed of this. So, this is what is present in theta to the theta plus d theta. This is f theta minus d theta is what is present at the moment in the earlier interval between theta minus d theta to d theta. Okay. This is a fraction of surface with edge between theta and theta plus d theta. This is the fraction of the surface with edge between theta minus d theta and theta. And the fraction of this which will be renewed or destroyed will be this quantity times S d theta. Take 10 seconds and let it sink. Whatever is in the earlier edge bracket, some of it will be lost, lost meaning minus sign. How much will be lost? What is present now in earlier edge bracket times the fraction S d theta. S is per time, in d theta, S d theta will be renewed. Okay. Now, rest of the steps are simple, evident. Divide by, simplify this, divide by d theta, f theta d theta minus f theta minus d theta, and this d theta cancels actually. Okay. And this will give you f theta minus d theta divided by d theta, and that will be equal to minus S f of theta minus d theta. This d theta and this d theta cancels. Okay. We are left with S d theta inside, of which this d theta comes here. We are left with minus S f theta minus d theta, because this has been shifted to left, transposed. Okay. What are we balancing? We are basically making, it is not conservation, please remember. Okay. In general, when it comes to the number distribution functions, we are dealing with population balances. The population is not conserved. This is first thing. Mass, energy, momentum, those are physical entities, they are conserved, but numbers need not be conserved. But whatever way the number varies, that equation is what we call balance. Okay. So, what we have now is this form of the original balance. The balance is what is now here in a higher age interval is what is in the older age interval minus what has been renewed. What is the f theta d theta? As I explained, it tells you the fraction of surface with age between theta and theta plus d theta. Same way, f theta minus d theta d into d theta, this one, this particular square bracket, this is the fraction of surface with age between theta minus d theta and theta. Clear everyone? Okay. So, now next we take the limit when d theta tends to 0, usual calculus d theta tending to 0. Then this becomes a derivative of f theta minus d theta by d theta is nothing but f prime theta or df theta by d theta, right, and this will tend to f theta, d theta is tending to 0. So, transpose this and you get df theta by d theta or f prime theta plus s f theta equal to 0. Clear? First order ordinary differential equation. So, once again we come to the integrating factor. So, that will be e power integral s d theta or exponential s theta, multiply by exponential s theta the whole thing, and then you can write this as a exact differential, which is differential of exponential s theta f theta, that is equal to 0, integrate, you get the constant of integration and you have e power s theta f theta equal to constant. As yet we do not know what the constant value is, we need to determine. Now, it is here that we invoke our choice that f theta is a normalized distribution function, which means if I integrate f theta, which is here constant times e power minus s theta, over the whole range of lifetimes from 0 to infinity, I should get 1. F theta d theta is the fraction, add them all up or integrate, you should get 1. So, you do that integration and you find now integral 0 to infinity f theta d theta is equal to constant out 0 to infinity e power minus s theta d theta, this must be equal to 1, and you can work this out and this works out to be 1 by s. Want to check? You can do it mentally also, right? I see all of you have done, most of you. Okay. So, this is now 1 by s, the constant therefore is s. Plug that in here. So, f theta is s times exponential minus s theta. The stationary age distribution function, which is a random surface renewal, rejuvenation renewal of the surface independent of age, is giving you this age distribution function. That is all we require. Once we have this, then we are in business. Let us say we already knew from penetration theory, this was the flux root dA by pi theta into Ci minus Ca 0 is the instantaneous flux. So, for those elements with age between theta and theta plus d theta, the contribution to the flux for unit area will be Na theta times f theta d theta, and you want it for the entire lifetimes, you will have to integrate that from 0 to infinity, is not it? You sum it up, certain fraction has f theta d theta, certain age bracket is corresponding to this fraction of surface f theta d theta. So, Na theta times f theta d theta will be the contribution to the flux from this age bracket. If you want it from 0 to infinity, this same thing you should integrate from 0 to infinity. That is what we have done here. This step will explain what I am saying. Na theta is the flux for elements with age between theta and theta plus d theta. The surface age distribution function f theta is s e power minus s theta as we derived, and f theta d theta is the fraction of the surface corresponding to this age bracket theta to theta plus d theta. I want now from 0 to infinity, so I integrate from 0 to infinity. That should be average flux. Do the integration, s is a constant and that is a single parameter of the model. the beauty of all these models is basically there is a single parameter. In film theory you have only film thickness. In the penetration theory you have lifetime of element, the constant lifetime of element. In surface renewal theory the single parameter is surface renewal rate or fractional surface renewal rate S. That is a constant, take it out. Na you plug in now as root of dA by pi theta, of which root dA by pi can be taken out, and this Ca I minus Ca 0 is the driving force, that is also constant. We are left with now integral 0 to infinity e power minus s theta by root theta, that is coming from KL theta, the instantaneous mass transfer coefficient. If you do this integration you get root pi by s, or alternatively this is the Laplace of 1 by root theta or theta to the power minus 1 by 2. So, here is a reminder for me to remind you that you have to now brush up Laplace transforms. Okay. We will make use of Laplace transforms in more number of problems to come. Basically, this is a glimpse of Laplace transformation from the surface renewal model. You could see that the kernel of Laplace transform is this e power minus s theta, any function multiplied by exponential minus p theta or minus s theta, that d theta, that will be your Laplace, right. So, this is nothing but Laplace of theta to the power minus 1 by 2, and that value is root pi by s. So, simplify, we have root pi cancelling off and we have root das. So, Na bar is nothing but Ca minus Ca 0 driving force times root das. Root of das is the average mass transfer coefficient from the surface renewal model, and as you had correctly expected, the dependence of mass transfer coefficient on diffusivity here does not change the power, still half. And it turns out no matter what is the age distribution function, no matter what is your f theta, irrespective of f theta, all surface renewal models, of which penetration theory would be a special case, everything is renewed at the same time, they predict the same dependence on diffusivity, diffusivity to the power 0.5 or half. Okay. So, basically we therefore have the final expression of our flux as this and the average mass transfer coefficient as. Penetration theory essentially predicted dependence of KL average on root dA. Surface renewal model does not alter, none of the surface renewal models would alter that. And you might have questions, we had the whole range from 0 to about 0.8 to 0.9. This is okay, this is in the middle. It is a more rigorous model, assumptions more in tune with physical expectations of reality. But here is also a revelation that a more realistic looking or more rigorous model does not necessarily always mean a lot of improvement in our predictions. So, do not be lured by the maths. More rigorous, more complicated, more complex expressions do not necessarily mean that it would give us more. It might impress people by the length of equations, but the predictability is probably not much enhanced. So, we still come to the same conclusion, choose the simplest model in tune with reality. Okay. Now, we have stage ready for something more to come, and I have about 5 minutes. So, I hope I can talk about this. Let us take a recap of what we have done. Film model presumes steady state, means the film, if it were to be presumed as comprising of elements, they all have infinite lifetime. Okay. So, infinite lifetime is the cornerstone of film model, but it has a finite thickness. So, think from this time space perspective. When it comes to lifetimes, infinite lifetime, when it comes to spatial extent, it is finite. Go to the penetration model or surface renewal model and we say the reverse. We say now space is infinity, even though it is finite, we can treat it as infinity. Lifetime is limited. What have we achieved? We have moved from exponent of dA from 1 to 0.5. These were the times, late 50s, where Danckwert's ideas inspired many enthusiastic modelers to try and develop more models. So, people were interested in covering the rest of the range. Okay. It is here, maybe I can make one more generic observation before I will go into next model. Anyway, let me tell you what the next model was. Next model was to combine aspects of film theory and penetration theory and come with something which will permit you exponent different from 0.5 in the range. Okay. But before I do that, I want to go back to one of my statements. I said these are single parameter models. Okay. Film model, penetration model, surface tension model. It is about the parameters and worth of a model, what I am going to say. If you admit more parameters, you can fit any data, okay. But as the number of parameters increase, the value of the model plummets. To make this point, Jimmy Wei of MIT published a small paper in ChemTech, an educational journal, in which he showed that if you admit 6 parameters, you can even fit an elephant rough. And then somebody else was inspired and he went a step further. What if we go for 18 models, then you can make the elephant move its trunk. The fitting does not enhance any understanding. So, we still have to look at the minimum number of parameters and the best possible explanation. So far, whatever we looked at, in every sense the surface lineal theory is the best description. It has a single parameter, it is able to explain experimental data without violating any conceptual expectations of reality. It allows for distribution of edges. In that bubble or drop model, the element could slide along the surface for a certain length and then go away. I guess I have that picture somewhere. Anyway, the element could slide along the surface of the bubble or drop to any distance shorter than it reaches the lowest point, and it could exit. And in the planar case, the element could slide any distance, whatever length of time, and then go and merge with the bulk. So, that is more realistic. So, we can sum up that surface lineal theory is the best, but next model is what Dobbins proposed, combination of film and surface lineal. That is what we will look at next time.